Hello students, I hope you are fine. In my previous two videos, I have discussed about elementary concepts of diffraction and single slit diffraction in detail. Now in this video, we will study about mainly 3 points. First one is difference between interference and diffraction. The second topic is Fresnel distance, and third topic is resolving power of optical instruments. We take the case of telescope and microscope. So let us start with very first topic of today's discussion, which is difference between interference and diffraction. You have studied the interference and diffraction in detail. So there are some difference between these two phenomena of light. First one is interference is due to superposition of wavelets coming from two coherent sources of light. In interference, there are two distinct coherent sources, and when wavelets from these two coherent sources travel in same medium, then they superimpose one another and give rise to intensity variation known as interference pattern in the form of bright and dark bands, whereas diffraction is due to superposition of secondary wavelets coming from different part of same wavefront. This same wavefront is important because in diffraction the different points of the wavefront acts as source of secondary wavelets, and secondary wavelets from these different points superimpose one another and give rise to intensity variation that is known as diffraction pattern. Okay. The next difference is in interference all the bright bands are of same intensity. There is no difference between intensity of the bright bands, but in diffraction pattern all the bright bands are not of same intensity. The intensity of central maxima is largest, and that of first secondary maxima, second secondary maxima, third secondary maxima goes on decreasing. So in diffraction the bright bands are not of same intensity. Now third difference is in interference the dark bands are usually completely dark, provided if the amplitude of two interfering waves are same. So it creates a good contrast between bright bands and dark bands. But in diffraction, dark bands are not completely dark. It means the intensity at the minima, that is at dark bands, is not completely zero. It creates a poor contrast between interference and diffraction. Now fourth difference is in the interference the fringes may or may not be of same width, but in diffraction the fringes are always of varying width. In diffraction the central maxima, the width of central maxima is always twice of the width of secondary maxima or secondary minima. So in diffraction fringes are of unequal width, whereas in interference, fringes may or may not be of same width. One more difference is there. In interference, the number of fringes is large as compared to number of fringes in diffraction. This is also difference between interference and diffraction. So this is all about the difference between interference and diffraction. Now we discuss the next topic, which is known as Fresnel distance. The concept of Fresnel distance is related to diffraction. You know, a slit or aperture diffracts light. Even then, we say light travels along a straight path and ray optics is valid. This concept can be understood by the concept of Fresnel distance. From the theory of diffraction, due to single slit, the angle of diffraction for central maxima is given by theta approximately equal to sin theta, because theta is a small angle, then sin theta and theta are equal, then this will be lambda by d, where what is d? D is width of slit and lambda is wavelength of light used. After traveling through distance z, the half angular width becomes theta into z. This z is distance traveled by beam of light. So we have lambda by d into z. Now this beam width will become more than the slit width only when z lambda d by d is greater than or equal to slit width. From here we can write z greater than or equal to d square by lambda. This distance z is called Fresnel distance, that is Fresnel distance denoted by zf equal to d square by lambda. From here we can define Fresnel distance. Fresnel distance is defined as the minimum distance a beam of light can travel before its deviation from straight line path due to diffraction becomes significant. Here you see the Fresnel distance depend upon the size of slit. It is directly proportional to square of size of slit or aperture, and this Fresnel distance is inversely proportional to wavelength of light. These two things are important. That is, if more is the size of width, then Fresnel distance is also large. That is, light can travel along straight path up to larger distance. Okay. Now we discuss about the importance of Fresnel distance. What is the importance of Fresnel distance? Importance of Fresnel distance. For distances greater than Fresnel distance, the spreading of light due to diffraction dominates over that due to ray optics, that is straight path. If distance is greater than the Fresnel distance, then we have to consider for the diffraction effects. But for distance less than Fresnel distance, this is spreading due to diffraction is spreading due to diffraction is smaller as compared to size of beam, so diffraction effect can be ignored. And if this distance is equal to Fresnel distance, then spreading becomes comparable to size of beam. This is the importance of Fresnel distance. If Fresnel distance is less, if distance traveled by light is beam of light is less than the Fresnel distance, then ray optics is valid. That is, light travels along straight path, and if distance is greater than this Fresnel distance, then we have to consider, we have to take into account the diffraction effect also. Let us take this with example. Suppose wavelength of light is 600 nanometer, that is 6 into 10 to the power minus 7 meter. This is the average wavelength of visible light, and diameter of pupil, human pupil, is about 1 mm, that is 10 to the power minus 3 meter. So we can calculate Fresnel distance as d square by lambda 10 to the power minus 3 square upon 6 into 10 to the power minus 7. This comes about 10 by 6 and nearly 1.67 meter approx. This means width of the beam due to diffraction does not become more than 1 millimeter unless distance traveled by the beam is more than 1.67 meter. Hence, we can ignore broadening of beam by diffraction up to distances as large as few meter. That is, we can assume light travels along straight lines. Hence, ray optics can be taken as the limiting case of wave optics. This is very important conclusion. Ray optics can be taken as limiting case of wave optics. Suppose if lambda tends to 0, lambda is very small, then Fresnel distance tends to infinite. It implies that ray optics will be valid for all distances. in this case. Here this is important that the deviation from straight line path, the deviation from straight line path becomes noticeable only when a beam after diffraction travels distances more than Fresnel distance, or in case of human people this is 1.67 meter. I hope you are getting the concept of Fresnel distance and its significance. Now I switch over to the next topic, which is concept of resolving power of optical instrument. You have heard about the resolving power in mobile camera. It is mentioned the resolution is so and so. We have to discuss about the resolving power. What is the resolving power? According to ray optics, if the object is a point object, then the image formed by lens is also a point. If object is point object, then convex lens forms its image as a point. However, because of the diffraction effects, the image of single point object formed by lens will actually be a central circular region known as airy disk, and this airy disk is surrounded by alternate dark and bright bands. This is dark bands, and again there is bright band, and again there is dark band. Dark band, and this is also dark band. So when two point objects are closer, suppose this is point object A and this is point object B, they are closer, then their images, that is their diffraction pattern as seen through optical instrument, will also be close and overlap each other. If overlapping is small, if this overlapping is small, then their images are seen as separate. Images are seen separate. But if overlapping is large, then their images are not seen separate. So the diffraction limits the resolving power. How the images of formed by optical instrument are seen separate. The resolving power of optical instrument can be defined as resolving power of optical instrument is defined as the ability of instrument to produce distinctly separate images of two closely spaced objects. That is, resolving power tells about the instrument, tells about the quality of instrument, whether the images of two closely spaced objects are seen separately or not. According to Rayleigh, there is famous scientist Rayleigh, if two point objects A and B are closed, then they will be resolved when central maxima of diffraction pattern of A lies on the secondary minima of diffraction pattern of B and vice versa. This is called Rayleigh criterion for the resolving power, Rayleigh criterion for resolvability. If two objects A and B are close to each other, then they will be resolved by the optical instrument when central maxima of A lies on the secondary minima of diffraction pattern of B and vice versa. This minimum distance between two objects which can be resolved, which can be seen separate by the optical instrument, is called limit of resolution. This is limit of resolution. Minimum distance. So, we can define the resolving power of microscope and telescope also. In case of microscope, the limit of resolution, that is minimum distance, is defined as the distance limit of resolution is defined as limit of resolution is defined as the minimum distance we can say D between two point objects whose images are seen just separate by the microscope, just separate. It means if the distance between two point objects is greater than this minimum distance, then they can be seen separate. But if distance between two point objects is less than this minimum distance, then they cannot be seen separate by the microscope. This is the importance of limit of resolution. This limit of resolution, that is minimum distance between two point objects, depends on the wavelength of light. It is directly proportional to wavelength of light. It is inversely proportional to refractive index of medium between object and objective lens of the microscope, and it is also inversely proportional to half the angle of cone of light from object onto the objective lens of microscope. This is objective lens of microscope and this is our point object. So light from point object when fall on this objective lens of the microscope, then this is called cone of light. This is half angle theta, here also theta. So the the limit of resolution is given by d equal to lambda upon 2 mu sin theta. This mu sin theta is also called numerical aperture. This is known as numerical aperture. So resolving power of microscope is reciprocal of this limit of resolution, because if limit of resolution is less, then resolving power of microscope is more and the quality of microscope will be good. So resolving power of microscope will be 2 mu sin theta by lambda. This is the formula for resolving power of microscope, very important formula. In this, you notice in this formula that resolving power is inversely proportional to wavelength of light. Therefore, we oftenly use the ultraviolet light of smaller wavelength to investigate the sample under microscope. We cannot increase the theta because it will increase the diameter of objective lens of microscope. So this is not convenient, and here resolving power is inversely proportional to mu. Limit of resolution is inversely proportional to mu and resolving power is directly proportional to mu. So the slides of object to be seen under microscope are prepared on glass because it has greater refractive index as compared to air. Now we take the case of resolving power of telescope. Resolving power of telescope. For the telescope, limit of resolution is defined as smallest. Limit of resolution is defined as the smallest angular separation between two distant objects whose images are just seen as separate through telescope. This is objective lens of telescope. Diameter of objective lens is large, and suppose this is light from source S1, this is light from source S2. Similarly here S1, S2, S1 and S2. This is the image of S1. This is the image of S2. This is smallest angular separation between these two distant objects. The limit of resolution is the smallest angular separation between two distant objects whose images are just seen as separate through the telescope. This smallest angular separation is directly proportional to lambda, as in case of telescope, d theta directly proportional to lambda, and this is inversely proportional to diameter of objective lens. Here d is diameter of objective lens. So, resolving power limit of resolution is given by d theta equal to 1.22 lambda by d. Now, the resolving power of telescope is inversely proportional to limit of resolution, because if angular separation is small, then resolving power is large. So, resolving power is given by d upon 1.22 lambda. This resolving power of telescope is directly proportional to diameter of objective lens. That is, if diameter of objective lens is increased, then its resolving power increases, and it is inversely resolving power is inversely proportional to wavelength of light used. Okay, this is all about the resolving power of telescope and microscope. In last, there are some home assignment. First question is, estimate the distance for which ray optics is valid for an aperture of 4 mm and wavelength is 400 nanometer. You can try yourself. The second question is, if diameter of objective lens of telescope is doubled, then how does its resolving power change? The third question is, what happens to resolving power of microscope if blue light is replaced by red light? Okay, this is all about the today's discussion. I hope you have learned from this video and enjoyed. Okay, Thank you for